I know. I have a bad habit of that too, Jeff. I phone Rock sometimes, and I keep him a little too long. Yeah, he's just so nice to talk to and never rushes you. I sometimes forget too that he's got a lot of things to do. Thank you, Jack. All right, so we're gonna take it up. We got 25 seconds, and that will be another 2 minute, and then we're gonna be doing a 2.5 minute. I think that's a 2.5 minute. No, yeah, 2.5 minute. 150 seconds. I love the color. It's got a lot of color in this, and I don't like to use the saturation too high. It's at 32. I'll show you if I put it too much. Right there's 42. It starts to get too much color noise. And it takes away from the core, I find. So I'll bring it back down to default. About there. Yeah, and I have the hue a little bit over to the right, Jeff, for less reds. It is very strong on the reds, but I have it at 70. 64 is default. I'll put it back to 64 right there. That's 64. If I slide it towards the other way, you can see even more blues and reds come in. If I put it towards 80, up and around the 80 range, more of the greens come in. There's 82. So I had it at 70. I'll bring it at about 74. Try about 72. That 72 looks good. Okay, so we're into our 2.5 minute exposure. We got just a little bit more than 1 minute, about 1 minute 15 seconds. I think it's going to look better and better as the exposure time is increased until we hit that plateau. Obviously, more exposure time brings out more detail, less graininess. In the amp glow, I'm very pleased with AGC at 2. At a 2 minute exposure, it's not too bad. It looks pretty decent. Okay, we have 35 seconds. And then I'll start, so we're not wasting time, I'll go to 180 on the next, and that should be about the max 3 minutes. Right now the brightness is at 75, so 180 might be too much, but this is where I want to test the MCV 1E, where we take it to 0 brightness and then reduce the dynamic range a little bit. The blacks, I mean, decrease the blacks. And here's the next refresh. We got a little bit of vignetting in the bottom 2 corners, especially the left, because the camera's not orthogonal, it's not squared 100%. Okay, so brightness now is at 56. That's a good one, Brian. Finish that doghouse, or you're going to be in the doghouse. Let me take a reading, Jack. Good idea. All right. Okay, we're going to point straight up. Okay, first reading is 17.3. Let me try it one more time. I don't have my conversion for magnitude. 16.5. Wow, that's a big difference. Let me do one more. Let me turn off the monitor too, just to make sure. 16.48. Yep. We're at about 16.5, say Jack. I think that's in a low 3, mag 3 factor. 22 seconds. Guiding's holding well. And the next refresh will be coming in 3 seconds. And it will automatically start a 3-minute exposure. And there's satellite going through. Okay, this next one's going to bring us our brightness down to close to 0. Right now I'm at 35. You can see the color's getting richer. We're getting richer coloration because the exposure time is increasing. I'm still leaving the saturation at 32. Wow, magnitude 2.7. That is amazing. Amazing we're able to see this. Yeah, I can play with the hue a bit more. Let me know if this looks better, this color. Slide it towards the right. Is that a little bit better there? I went a little bit for the greens. Just to bring the core a little bit more of a yellowy orange rather than a red. Okay, thanks Brian Jack. Appreciate the feedback. No, we're just over 1 minute to go. That's I'm amazed that I can go 3 minutes with the moon out. So this device definitely increases your needs. If you need to go longer in exposure, it definitely will let you go longer. Oh, you got some big storms coming up? We're getting rain tomorrow night, and then it's supposed to be clear for the rest of the week. Oh boy. A big large open patch of clear sky right from Pennsylvania. I think Dawn, you should be pretty clear tonight. You should have a really nice night. Over to Ottawa's clear. Over to Glen there in Niagara Falls should be pretty clear. It's a big area of clearness. 3 seconds to go. Okay. I don't know why that didn't change. I'll let that run through. I don't know why that didn't change. I thought I added another 30 seconds. Maybe that was already a 3-minute exposure. Boy, time flies. Okay, let me just put this up to one final one. Let me put this on freeze, and then I'll start it again. So we're not looking at a black sky for a few minutes. Okay, so I just started a 4-minute exposure. That will really pull our brightness to 0. Right now the brightness is at 35. I don't want to go another half minute. That will probably pull it down to about 15. So we'll go a full minute, and then we'll play with the MCV 1E dial, see if we can turn it up a bit. I mean down. $55-ton turbine generator tomorrow. Whoa. Big crane. Wow. I need a shorter name. Yeah. Yeah, we call it the MCVE. One and two. Oh yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. I'm going to turn the saturation down a touch because with the exposure is going longer, we're getting more color. So I'll go down from 32 because I can see a little bit of red blotching. Let's try it at 30. 29, 28. That's good there at 28. Takes down the color noise a bit. Now you can see those arms branching where the bridge is at the bottom and the arm above it. You can see those two arms quite nicely branching, connecting the bridge to the upper arm. And there's a few arms connecting the very highest spiral arm to the one below it. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 branches connecting it. You know, I've had a lot of fun with the DVE, the old one, and I've used it a lot. I know what it's capable of doing, so I really don't have to switch. It is harder for me to switch. I have to unplug everything. But going from what my experience is on the old DVE, I would say the MCV1E is miles ahead of it. There's no words to explain. It's just so much fun. The range is much more broader, the dynamic range. The blacks are better. You don't have to lower your contrast to pick up detail in the core. You can leave the contrast at max, and you don't need a separate power source. So I think it's a big winner. I can't wait to test this under a new moon. I'm not too sure about it, John, yet. I think Rock wants to test it a bit more before it's released, but it should be released soon. I think Rock posted within a few weeks, a month. Shouldn't be too long. 90 degrees bend. Oh, I see what you mean, Jack. Yeah. Definitely a lot of detail there.